Uh, let's get started. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening, everyone. I'm Zarmeena Jawad and I'm leading the AI transformation at Adversity. I'm truly excited to welcome you all to this exclusive webinar that we have arranged today on Cursor AI, your next coding partner. At Adversity, we believe that skill-based learning is not just about getting a job, it's about creating opportunities, driving innovation, and building the future. We're diving deep into one of the most transformative fields in technology today. It's fantastic to have you here. We're exploring the world of generative AI, especially how it's revolutionizing the way we write code. This technology is actively reshaping entire industries, and I'm curious to know how it's impacting you. आप में से वो जो हमें first time join कर रहे हैं, let me quickly introduce you who we are. Adversity is Pakistan's leading edtech platform, or जब से we have launched, we've trained over 12,000 students in fields like blockchain, AI, cybersecurity, web development, and entrepreneurship. In these 4 years, we have received many awards, such as the BRICS and SEO Award. We have been the winner of Commonwealth Excellence Award. We are also recognized by the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, and we are named among the top edtech platforms by both the Prime Minister and President of Pakistan. What makes us different is our focus on practical, career-driven learning, और ये चीज़ कि हमारे graduates 230 plus global companies के साथ connect होते हैं through our placement cell. We don't just teach, we prepare you for real world. Now, coming to today's session, it wouldn't be possible without our highly accomplished speaker. I'd like to introduce you to our speaker, Mr. Yahya Qureshi, Country Ambassador of Cursor AI, founder of Fast Track, and a driving force behind multiple AI products. From building a startup and scaling it from ground up to leading thriving developer communities and mentoring talent for over 2 years, Yahya has been the forefront of AI-powered development and community-led growth. Over to you, Yahya.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hope all of you have been well. So nice to see a good amount of attendees. बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है आप सब लोग को देख ले संडे के दिन आप लोग अपनी सारी जो भी आप लोग की कमिटमेंट्स थी छोड़ के आए just to learn about Cursor. So whether it's your obsession with Cursor or your curiosity, I welcome you to this online webinar where I'll be able to teach you more about what it is and how it can entirely change your development workflow. Let me share my screen and we'll get started with the presentation. Is my screen visible to all of you? Can somebody please confirm if my screen is visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. Okay, for sure. Welcome to this webinar where I'll give you a brief intro of Cursor is and a workflow, how you can turbocharge your coding workflow and transform your development experience. And a gentle reminder, you may turn your camera on. Good to see your lovely smiles. And we will also have a group photo in the end as well. If you haven't set up your local coding environment, it's fine. A recording will be shared to each and every one of you, so you can follow it on your own pace. And if you have any questions during the Q&A, please raise your hand and feel free to send them in the chat as well. Save your questions for the Q&A. Do not interrupt in the middle of the session. It will help everyone get the answers that they need. And a big thank you to Kong, the Cursor Ambassador for Malaysia, an incredibly experienced CTO for 2 local startups in Malaysia. Many of the ambassadors and the Cursor team are very, very experienced. Thank you to him for the slides. The design for the slides is also generated by Cursor and Claude Sonnet 4. So a big thank you to him. And welcome. I'm Yahya Qureshi. For those of you who don't know, I am the Cursor Ambassador for Pakistan. I'm a passionate builder, tech enthusiast, nerd. Talk to me about stories, video games, tech news, most importantly, tech products. क्या चीज़ चल रही है, क्या चीज़ मार्केट में चल रही है, किस तरह बन रही है, किस तरह बनानी है. I really love to. That's how most of my free time goes. And thank you to the amazing people at Adversity for their efforts for this session. Zarmeena, Saad, Danish, Fatma, all the amazing people I know and more. Thank you so much for arranging this webinar. And our lineup for this evening, जो आप लोग सब sacrifice करके आए हैं, I hope I'll make it worthwhile. I'll give a brief introduction of Cursor, Cursor's 4 key features, a live demo. Remember this, in any phase of life, whenever you have to do a live demo, it's like shooting yourself in the foot. Anything could fail, anything could go wrong, but it's a reminder. Cursor is not the product which gives you a perfect product in one prompt. It's supposed to help you as a developer. It's not the pilot, it's the co-pilot. You are supposed to have strong fundamentals, and Cursor, being the target audience of the professional developer, helps you in that process. And then we'll also have the Q&A. Okay. Whether you call it the choice for modern engineering organizations or the best way to code with AI, Cursor will entirely change your development workflow. Cursor is used by leading development teams to increase productivity and efficiency in how code is written, edited, and reviewed. 88% of Fortune 500, not Fortune 500, but Fortune 1000 companies with engineers are using Cursor. 100,000 enterprises choose Cursor as their IDE of choice over VS Code and others. And 1 billion lines of enterprise code are written per month with Cursor. Shopify, Replicate, Perplexity, Midjourney, Samsung, and more use Cursor as their daily driver for coding. Even OpenAI, the ones who are making AI, also use Cursor for their development. So that's a great testament to the product. Moving on, Cursor is for beginners and for pros. It's for aspiring developers. From simple use cases like code auto-completion to automating your complex workflow, Cursor has got you covered. It's great for beginners and pros if you know how to use it. An important tip, whatever language you're using to work with on Cursor, whether it's Python, JavaScript, Swift, you need to have good fundamentals in it. Many people, खासकर आपके दोस्तों ने भी आपको बोला होगा कि ये AI coding तो सबको replace कर देगा, खत्म हो जाएगा. If you do not know what you're doing, you will not get very far. It's very important to stay in touch with your fundamentals. Vibe coding can only take you so far. And moving on, we can go to the key features of Cursor for those who don't know about them. There's autocomplete, there's code editing, there's ask mode where you can ask about the code you have, and the autonomous mode, hum sabka favorite, where end to end, start to finish, it can entirely make features for you, make your apps for you, and more. Okay, so autocomplete for tab, for daily coding. It's your daily driver in writing code faster. Imagine you're making something, you're editing some JSX, some HTML, some CSS, and you're making a few edits to the lines. It will automatically predict your next action and suggest code based on your current edit context. It's super fast and accurate, and oftentimes, instead of writing code all by yourself, you just tap to apply the suggestion. And most importantly, you should also review your suggestion instead of totally relying on the LLM. And then there's also code editing. I feel like the images are blurry. I'm so sorry for that. There seems to be some kind of issue, but let's move on. Used for refactoring code and modifying a chunk of code. If you want to edit a certain piece in your code base, like instead of if statements, you want to use a do-while loop or whatever, you can give it, you can enter the preference you have in the chat and the edit will be made for you. And in the chat ask mode, you can ask anything and everything about your code, whether it's an issue with your middleware, any kind of issue with your files, or anything you can think about. If your algorithm speed is good, or if it's the best approach to go with, it can answer that as well. It's useful in researching how code base and features work. It can also be used for debugging as well. And agent mode, chat and ask mode and agent mode are one now. You'll see in the live demo how you can just select them in the drop down, but agent mode is an autonomous agent that can run a simple task end to end with simple instructions. Although the agent can run with minimal instruction, just like ChatGPT or any other AI tool, it is still advisable to have a proper workflow to make them more consistent. We will cover everything in the live demo next. And let's dive into the hands-on part. I have to give अच्छा खासा आप लोगों को context देना पड़ेगा इन चीज़ों के लिए. And I'd love to know more about the audience as well. How many of you are from a non-tech background? Is there an option for poll? Okay, I'll create a. If Zarmina, if you can help with the poll. I'd love it if the audience can interact that way. How many of them are in a
Sure,
non-tech background? How many of them are from a tech background?
sure.
Thank you. I'll get a good idea of how to take the session forward with that. If there's any difficulty in the poll, we can just carry on with an assumption. A few people have raised their hands when I talked about non-tech background. That means we predominantly have a technical audience. Pretty nice.
Yahya, you can create a poll now.
Okay, for sure. Thank you. Okay, let's skip the poll for now, but I feel like we primarily have a tech audience. So as a tech audience, you may know that, an advice, if you want to start with Cursor, you should definitely use a language which is very popular, very well typed, something like JavaScript or TypeScript, or using a popular framework like React or Next.js. If you use something niche, the LLM doesn't have enough data to recommend you the perfect steps on it. So it's better to use, if you want to get into AI coding, it's better to check that the language that you want to get into is very popular. So as a result, we will be using Next.js for our hands-on demo. And for those who have used React or Next.js, also know about NPM. I wish we could have a poll or a question like how many of you are familiar with what NPM is. जिसको NPM का पता है अपना hand raise कर. Okay, very cool. So around 25 people know what NPM is. Or how many people know what's pip for Python? Amazing. More people know about Python pip as well. So both of these are package managers. Imagine you're using different app. You're using Premiere Pro for editing. You're using Canva, or you're using CapCut. You have to install different plugins to get different effects. That's the same thing that you have to do in JavaScript. You have to use a central package manager. If you want to include icons in your project, you'll need a different package for that. If you want to include animations, you'll need a different package for that. And many people know that whenever you try to use NPM, oftentimes it takes more than 5 minutes, running into the crazy errors. It's just a thing about JavaScript. It takes us quite a bit of time. So we have an amazing contribution from the Cursor ambassador of Seattle, Kevin, who has made a Next AI starter template, where not only they have Next.js in a package, but they also have included TypeScript, Supabase, authentication with Next.js, UI and styling with Tailwind, and storybook for development, more and more, so on and so forth. In a non-live demo, imagine, inshallah, we will be meeting for in-person events as well. Wahan pe we have the time to sacrifice 10-15 minutes to go with a traditional walkthrough. But for now, for the live demo, I'd like to take a template approach, जहाँ पे सब पहले से set हुआ हुआ है, और we can work on that. And for those who are curious, how do we start with the normal method? You can just go on Next.js official website, the React framework for the web. It's one of the most popular frameworks in recent times, given with how fast it is and how easy it is to work with. And it's the top choice for vibe coding. And when you go into the documentations and go into the getting started part, you just need Node.js on whatever system you have, and you need to input this npx create next app command on your terminal. And I'll show you that as well. Like, you have your terminal right here. और जब आप npx create next app करते हैं, You can see if you proceed yes, it will keep on asking questions like this. I'll cancel the process for now since we're not using this, but you'll see a clear overview of the questions it will keep on asking. What's your project name? Would you like to use TypeScript? TypeScript and JavaScript is a different ballgame altogether. Uh, you can do that research on it. There's a difference in types and something that makes it really easy to identify bugs. That's the difference with TypeScript. There's linting options with ESLint. There's Tailwind CSS instead of conventional CSS. And there's also a prompt which asks you what's the directory structure you want. So Next.js gives you all this authority. And it's a good thing to give the documentation a brief reading before getting started with this. But since we're using a template instead, we can get to cloning the template. Okay. So we can start off. This is the UI of Cursor. That's how you get that. That's how it's presented to you when you open it, and you can go into opening a project. And when you're opening a project, you can go into wherever you want to store your project. Okay, another question. I have to realize I have to take the whole session in a proper pace. How many of you know here about GitHub? Okay, not know about it, but actively use it properly. Raise your hands, please. Amazing. That's a good number. For those who don't know, GitHub is basically, some people call it the Facebook for your code. Some people call it the Google Drive for your code. If you have to store your code and share it with others, GitHub is the best choice. Now, आपके सामने example है how Kevin wanted to share his code with everyone else, and he was able to share it through GitHub. And now I'll show you how to clone it through GitHub as well. So I'll prefer using my own account for this. And if we go here, we can get an option to use this template. And when we use this template, there's an option to create a new repository. So we won't run into permission issues. And this repository name, which would hold our project for the live demo, we can keep it cursor-demo-edversity. And we can create a public repository for this. And now that our repository is being generated, I have a very interesting question for the live demo. आप लोग सोच रहे होंगे मैं live demo में बनाऊंगा क्या? And यहाँ पे किसको अपने लिए personal portfolio website चाहिए? जो कैमरा ऑन करके माइक ऑन करके जवाब देगा उसको एक portfolio website मिल जाएगी for free to walk away from this session. I'm waiting for you guys. काफी valuable opportunity है. Everyone needs a portfolio in this day and age. So let me know. Do we have any volunteers? आप लोग सब दिखा रहे हैं कि कंप्यूटर साइंस के स्टूडेंट्स कितने इंट्रोवर्टेड होते हैं. I definitely get the apprehension. चलो कोई chat में comment कर दो. That's perfectly fine. Whoever wants a portfolio, I'll need you to come open your mic at least as well, so I can ask a few questions about you and show you how you can build a portfolio website tailored to you.
Yahya, they need to raise their hands in order to open their mic.
Oh, okay. Please raise your hands as well. And okay, we can randomly select someone from the audience with a raised hand. Danish, his hand is raised, so maybe we can help him open his mic. I'd definitely like to keep this an interactive session. खुद भी अच्छे खासे sessions attend किए हैं मैंने as being a student and everything, and like बहुत दफा ऐसा होता है कि where the instructor मजबूर हो जाता है कि आके slides पढ़ के चला जाए. I don't want it to be like that. अच्छा फिर आप लोग भी interact करें and we can किसी का फायदा भी हो जाएगा by getting a portfolio website and the rest of you would learn a lot
Hi,
from it as well. Hello, who is that?
Ali Hamza here, Yahya.
Ali Hamza, thank you so much. Chalo, you are the first one to answer. So you would, I guess you're going to get a portfolio website. Behreen. ठीक है. So now that her repository is ready, I'll clone it into our workspace. I have a folder on my system jahan pe where I have everything related to GitHub. Keeps everything pretty clean and organized. So I'll use git clone GitHub. And for those जिनको बिल्कुल भी idea नहीं होगा GitHub से किस तरह clone करते, let me show you something as well. A special feature about Cursor जो terminal के अंदर you can generate commands. मैं the link डाल दूँ and I say clone this repository for me. And even if I don't know the command, you can get out of the Cursor itself. As you can see, it's cloned completely. And now we can open the project. It's cursor-demo-edversity. And now we have, since we use the template, we have all the files we need for Next.js, and we can continue to plan our project. Something I'd like to share from the slides is there's a 3-step process for working with Cursor and mastering the agentic mode. You have to break your task into smaller focused steps. There's 3 steps. You have to plan, you have to code, and then you have to test. And then you have to create different chats for specific tasks so the LLM doesn't get confused. Each of them should have custom instructions designed specifically. Being specific is much better than being vague. आपने से ChatGPT में भी कितने लोगों ने experience किया होगा कि the more detail you give it, the more context you give it, it will work a lot better. Provide useful context, guardrails, and tag relevant files. By guardrails, this is for the more tech-focused audience, but imagine there's some cybersecurity flaws or some SQL injection. If your code is prone to SQL injection or some other cybersecurity flaw, unless flaws like that, there's a good chance it might miss it. So you have to know what you're doing, so you'll be able to request accordingly. And all right, since we have the planning thing right now, and something that also really helps is cursor.directory. It's an amazing platform which shares all the rules and cursor rules and MCPs. किसको क्या पता कि cursor rules क्या है? It's basically you are able to tell cursor what you expect them to be. तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कि there's rules for Python, React, PHP, JavaScript. हम TypeScript के साथ काम करें, so we'll use TypeScript and we will copy this rule. Once we go back into Cursor, and when you go into rules, you can add your own rule for the project. And since this is a front-end based project, we're making a portfolio website for Ali. We can go and name it front-end. And यहाँ पे, as you can see, the rules में, you're basically gaslighting Cursor that भाई सब पता है तुम्हें. You're a senior front-end developer and an expert in React.js, Next.js, JavaScript. Follow the user's requirement carefully and to the letter. First, think step by step. Always write correct. Practice code. Be concise. Minimize any other pros. All the important stuff. And once you tag this rule and tell it in the chat to follow this rule, it's going to follow it very properly. This also comes in the planning part. And now that we have our workspace ready, we just need to input the prompt. Prompt plan kis tarah kare? You could do it on pen and paper, or like most people, you could use ChatGPT. And once we open ChatGPT, I'll do it from scratch in case of a backup. Okay, so, and another thing, एक और चीज मैं आप लोगों को दिखाता हूँ कि if अब ChatGPT को नहीं पता कि आप किस तरह से प्रोजेक्ट पे काम कर रहे हो, कर्सर को भी ब्राउज करना पड़ेगा. तो आप जिस टूल के साथ आप प्लानिंग कर रहे हो ना, there's this thing in Mac OS, Linux, जितने भी Unix based operating systems हैं, Windows के लिए different होगा, tree. Once you enter tree, आपको पूरा का पूरा जो भी आपकी करंट वर्किंग डायरेक्टरी है उसके अंदर जितनी भी फाइल की ये ट्रीज बन रही है ना, you're able to see them in a text form and give them to ChatGPT. So that really helps the LLM to understand what you're trying to do. And now, once you're trying to do tree, पूरा एक यहाँ पे आ गया है, the complete structure of the file system. आप ये कॉपी करो और ChatGPT को दो ताकि ChatGPT एक तरह से gets to look what you're doing in cursor. This is the tree of my current working directory. I need to create a portfolio website. Ali, can you turn on your mic and tell me what you do? उस तरह से I'll be
Hi,
able to.
Yahya. Hi, Yahya.
Yes. Hello, Ali.
So I am a third-year computer science student
Okay.
studying at NUST.
Okay.
So I've been using cursor quite a while, but the whole structure of the cursor seems a bit like a new thing for me.
Okay. इसी तरह से, if you give ChatGPT a few lines along with the project structure and ask it to create, now this is the most important part. You have to ask it to create a PRD, project requirement document. PRD is a format very popular in software engineering practices, which break down all the problems in your project and gives it in a very readable format. Create a PRD for this project in Markdown. For those who don't know, Markdown is also a TXT file ki tarah hi hota hai, lekin it's very easy for the any kind of editor to understand the project. और जैसे कि आप देख सकते हैं, if you don't give enough context, इसने अली हमजा की जगह याह्या कुरैशी लिख दिया because मैंने अली हमजा नहीं लिखा. I'll ask it to make that edit as well. चलो. अभी यहाँ पे भी प्रोजेक्ट टाइटल में याह्या कुरैशी है, लेकिन it's अभी भी मैं सब कर रहा हूँ. The portfolio website is about Ali Hamza. PRDs, personally, I write them on my own. It takes quite a while. It takes 30 minutes to an hour to get a brief PRD out on your own. This is why I don't use ChatGPT for PRDs specifically. But since we're in a demo, and this is what we're doing. ChatGPT, maybe you can add instructions and custom rules and memories to prevent it from behaving like this. And this is what we have for now. The timeline is irrelevant. Cursor would know that. Baki, then we go into our workflow once more. You can create a new file at the root of the project, prd.md, and paste everything in there. और इसमें भी आपको जो edits करने हैं, you can do that. इसने यहाँ पे even inspiration का भी बता दिया. So there you go. This is our PRD, and we also have our front-end rules ready. Our cursor को एक ChatGPT के लिए final step. Give me a prompt for my AI coding IDE to make this portfolio website, implement this PRD end to end. Give it to me in Markdown. And now, as you can see, पूरा text stack भी read कर लिया because we gave it the tree. Dots भी बता दिए कि about page अलग होगा, projects page अलग होगा, contact page अलग होगा. And there's also a list of components for it to build. Now instead, imagine aap cursor ko do, build me an amazing portfolio website, and that's it. It won't have the context that it needs at all. So now that our prompt is ready, we can give it that as well. Prompt हमने यहाँ दिया है, तो we can start. और इसमें I want to make a few edits. Deployment और Vercel वाला part भी I'd like to take it by myself ताकि आप लोगों को समझ आए. बाकी ठीक है, let's get started. Now that we have the prompt इसको दे दिया है, let's enclose it in a few apostrophes as LLMs like that. And now we can go on. We can tag prd.md, implement this for me end to end, obey the guidelines in rules पे click content.mdc. And a very important part which people missed, ask me about any questions you may have. This last part ke saath, even if the AI has any ambiguity, it asks you those questions directly, so you'll be able to clarify and get a better output in the end. So there you have it. Or up, you can wait. Aapko chai peeni hai, jo bhi karna hai. Cursor will take a bit of time, but it will give you the best possible output. Developers की job खत्म हो गई है. Obviously, that's satire. बिल्कुल भी ऐसी चीज नहीं है. Developers की job बिल्कुल भी खत्म नहीं हुई है. Shortly, you'll realize how much cursor कितना mess up करता है. AI कितना mess up करता है. And it's really important to realize how important it is to have your fundamentals in check, because otherwise you will not be able to understand majority of what you are trying to do. One of my favorite features in Cursor recently is how it to-do list. एक चीज का to-do बन जाता है, and it gets complete clarity कि क्या करना है हमने आगे. It's updating the root layout.tsx के template की चीजों से हट के Ali Hamza की चीजें आ जाए. It will create a home page, it will create an about page, optional blog page भी बनाएगा, contact page. And this feature really shows you कि how code base को mess नहीं बनाना चाह रहे Cursor. It's reusability के लिए और future में अच्छे code को encourage करने के लिए it's doing that as well. And it's already done with 2 of the to-dos. It might take a bit of time. It might take around 5 minutes, but you will briefly see how it's going to give a very desirable output.
I think in the meanwhile, we can take someone's questions.
For sure, for sure. If anyone has any questions, raise your hands and I'd love to take them. Danish and Zarmina, if you can please help me with facilitating the people who want to ask questions. If they have their hand raised, allow them to unmute their mic.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Azizi Gil has a question. If you can unmute your mic. Oh, never mind. Let's move on to the other one. Canyon Skull has a question. Would you like to open your mic? Yes, would you like to ask the question?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Yahya bhai, I wanted to ask how you explain the whole concept of PRDs and creating a task list. Iske liye, I've been using Cursor since the start of June, and I've come to see that there are MCPs you can use for this, जो externally PRDs वगैरह बनाते हैं, जैसे Taskmaster AI वगैरह.
Yes, precisely.
So the one drawback I faced with this is it highly depends on the AI models, the LLM models that you use for the quality of the outputs you get. Now, for someone like me who's not able to invest in premium LLM models like Claude Sonnet 4, what would you suggest? How should I go about this? क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा जगह पे hallucinations होती है, बहुत drawbacks होते हैं, and it takes a long time to fix that.
100%, I definitely agree. I wish I could talk about Taskmaster and more, but this was an introductory session, so I thought ke sabko saath leke chalte. Lekin yeah, I have read about how Taskmaster, for those who don't know, it's a GitHub repo जो आपका पूरा step by step break करके PRD बना देता है पूरे context को समझ के, and apparently it reduces hallucinations by 90%. Baki, ispe we had a discussion in our community as well. Just try to break down the problems into smaller pieces and be specific. Create new chats. एक ही chat में ज़्यादा चीजें लेके चलेंगे तो it would be creating काफी room for hallucination.
All right, thank you.
You can also enforce cursor rules and more उस तरह से ना, like it just goes on and on.
Yahya, Shabaz Akbar is gonna ask a question. If you can
Okay.
unmute your mic. Shabaz, if you can unmute your mic. I think he's facing some network issues. We can move forward.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Walaikum Assalam, we can hear you.
Shabaz, you're audible if you can like speak.
Probably a network issue. I think we can move on with our cursor AI thing.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
अच्छा सर, जैसे आपने डायरेक्टरी अपनी चैट जीपीटी को दी और उसके बाद उसको इससे प्रॉम्प्ट लेकर आपने कर्सर को दिया, तो कर्सर के लिए ये रिक्वायरमेंट होगी हमें चैट जीपीटी को इस तरह से इस्तेमाल करके फिर हम कर्सर की हेल्प ले सकते हैं, या ये काम डायरेक्टली कर्सर में भी हो सकता है?
नहीं, absolutely, कर्सर में भी हो सकता है. कर्सर में क्यों नहीं हो सकता? Since you have an option, यहाँ पे ना you can choose whatever model you want. There's GPT-4 or GPT-4.1. It's basically an LLM. आप कर्सर से कोड भी लिखवा सकते हैं. You can use it like ChatGPT as well. वो आपकी मर्जी है और पूरा आप ना उसमें काम वो करवा सकते हैं. मैंने लेकिन like वैसे ही कर्सर में there's a limited amount of prompts even in the premium one. So most people would prefer to save their prompts and use ChatGPT, or जिनके पास वो requirement नहीं है, वो restriction नहीं है, they can definitely use cursor for the planning part as well.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. You're probably facing some network issues right now because it does not take this long at all. So if we have any more questions.
Yeah, we would love to know that how this cursor AI whole thing works. I mean, does it run locally on your computer, or is it web-based like Google Colabs? So would love to know about that as well.
Okay, for sure. So about cursor, it's there's an option where you can run it locally as well through Olama, but primarily all the servers are hosted online for every LLM. There's Claude Sonnet 4, there's GPT, there's DeepSeek, and all the new models as well, like the new models that everyone's seeing in the news, Kimi One-Shot, but Kimi made by Moonshot. It's so hard to keep up. But yeah, all of those are hosted online, and Cursor communicates with those hosted models and gives you the output. आगे और पीछे, front, back and forth, उसका पूरा output जाता रहता है. And that's how it works. Google Colab की तरह भी we're getting some features. There is web-based agent now. which allows you to make changes on the fly without cursor installed. You can look it up on your phone. आप drive कर रहे हो, आप gym में हो, कुछ भी हो, you can connect your GitHub repo and deploy features on the fly. There's that as well. Baki, I can see Mohammed Basim has a hand raised.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yeah, I have a question. ये है कि like I have this crazy idea right now. मैं अपनी pictures transfer कर रहा था like from my Android phone to my laptop, and I had like an idea like for my own problem, you know. So I just wanted to know that like can cursor help me build like a desktop application? Like I am using cursor for my full stack web app, like it's going perfect and all. So I just wanted to know like can it help me with that? To build my own like desktop based application which works on my PC or any other PC. So yeah.
Absolutely. One of the best things about Cursor is there's an abundance of tutorials and resources on YouTube, GitHub, whatever you name it. So whatever desktop application you are trying to make, what language do you want to work in?
Well, honestly, like I just have the idea right now, and I will, after this webinar, I will hop on to ChatGPT or something, and just throw my idea at it, and and let the LLM tell me like what will be the preferred tech stack for this. So, and I will follow that. But yeah, but for like solely desktop application, I was like vague on that. I don't have
That's
my
amazing.
clarification.
बहुत बेहतरीन बात है. And what platform do you use? Windows या फिर Mac OS?
I'm currently using Windows.
Okay, so for Windows, there's a better platform is .NET. And the thing about Cursor is that it's basically VS Code. So all the extensions that you have, they are automatically imported into Cursor right here. तो जिस तरह से आप लोग ये देख सकते हैं SweetPad अब क्या है? SweetPad is an extension जो Xcode और iPhone की applications बनाने के लिए मतलब इन्होंने extension बनाई कि you can make them right into VS Code, and if it's available in VS Code, it's available in Cursor. उस तरह से you can run everything in Cursor instead of using Xcode जो यहाँ पे मैंने रखा हुआ है ना, मैं पूरी की पूरी development इसमें कर लेता हूँ. So there's probably something like that for .NET as well, जहाँ पे you can install an extension, उसको .NET का context मिलेगा कि .NET क्या चीज़ है, क्या keywords होते हैं उस language में, and it will be able to make apps for you like that as well. क्योंकि LLM के पास तो जितनी भी major languages है ना, Windows की हो गई, Mac OS की हो गई, Linux की हो गई, उन सब का context होता है. तो उस तरह से काम चल जाता है. And I absolutely love the idea कि आपको ये webinar देख के आपका बिल्कुल मतलब आपको you felt like making a desktop application for your own, making your own solution. That's what most of my peers have done, and I really love to see that. So if you want, you can connect with me offline as well, and I'd love to help you with the application and making the application with Cursor. And जिस तरह से मैंने आपको बताया था कि npm और npx JavaScript is a mess for an online demo. I काफी सोचा था इसका मैंने, लेकिन देखो 1000 packages अभी download हुए हैं, so it will take a while. बाकी if you have any more questions, I saw someone raise their hand. Yes, Jawad, please.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम.
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन एक सजेशन है बल्कि
जी.
असल में हम एक ऐप बनाने जा रहे हैं ना सर, जो कि लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग जो ड्रोन से आती है ना वीडियो, उसको हम प्रोसेस कर रहे हैं ओपन सीवी के जरिए. तो टर्मिनल पे तो ये सब कुछ इजीली हो जाता है ना वीएस कोड पे, लेकिन जब हम प्रोग्रामिंग ऐप की तरफ जा रहे हैं अभी ना सर, तो मैंने थोड़ी सी एक्सप्लोरेशन की, उसमें मैंने स्ट्रीमलेट को देखा तो स्ट्रीमलेट वो सपोर्ट ही नहीं कर रहा क्योंकि वो लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग नहीं कर रहा है ना सर. तो इसके लिए मुझे सजेशन चाहिए थी आपसे कि मैं किस प्लेटफॉर्म को यूज करके उसको मतलब जो प्लेटफॉर्म ऐसी ऐप हो जो लाइव वीडियो प्रोसेसिंग जो है ना उसको मतलब कर सके उसको.
Okay, for sure. Thank you so much for the question. अच्छा, so to give a recap to everyone else listening in, जवाद ने एक ऐप बनानी जिसके अंदर बेसिकली लाइव वीडियो, किसी को वीडियो कॉल करनी है या फिर किसी ने अपनी वीडियो ब्रॉडकास्ट करनी है, जिस तरह से मैं आप लोगों को ब्रॉडकास्ट कर रहा हूँ, वो उनको प्रोसेस करना है. एंड स्ट्रीमलेट इज अ वेरी मिनिमल पाइथन पैकेज जो ना बहुत जल्दी से एक स्टैटिक जेनेरिक फ्रंट एंड ना बना के दे देता है, तो उसके अंदर वो सपोर्ट नहीं हो रहा. तो एज आई मेंशन्ड बिफोरहैंड, JavaScript, Next.js. It's one of the most widely used languages for web applications for any and every purpose. जो भी आपने करना है web पे, you can definitely use JavaScript and Next.js or React. And there's also many guides and tutorials and documentation even you can feed into Cursor. That's a very important feature as well, जिसके through आप अपनी जो भी आपने अपनी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन बनाई हुई है फॉर योर ओन लाइब्रेरी या ओपन सीवी की डॉक्यूमेंटेशन, वो आप फीड करके इसके अंदर आप यूज कर सकते हैं. आई कैन इवन गिव यू ए गाइडलाइन ऑन हाउ टू डू दैट. अगर आप इसमें यहाँ पे ओपन सीवी डॉक्स में आप जाएं, तो सिंस यू हैव द होल डॉक्यूमेंटेशन, and you are able to, यहाँ पे अगर आप ऐड पे जाएं और डॉक्स पे जाएं, since you can refer to all these docs, very important tools. Amazon S3 for storage, Accord.net for creating .NET applications. There's Apex charts for graphing or charts बनाने के लिए, Airflow for data intake, AWS CLI for deploying your applications, Apple developer document, like बहुत like you can add whatever you want as well. तो इसके अंदर अगर आप add docs में जाएं और अगर आप OpenCV के docs add करें, OpenCV docs, ये आप नाम सेट कर देंगे और यहाँ पे you can give a link to it as well and confirm that. तो यहाँ पे आपके पास OpenCV के docs आ गए for being able to, and you're able to talk to the documentation. अब जैसे जवाब का है कि I am building a video streaming app on Next.js using OpenCV. Refer to the docs and help me with the implementation. This is how you could actually ना पूरा काफी impactful तरीके से you can use it to improve whatever problem you're stuck in या फिर जो भी आपको feature develop कराना for your app. And yes, in the end I would suggest Next.js for this modern SOP that you have.
सही है सर, बहुत शुक्रिया सर, आपने बहुत अच्छी तरह गाइड किया मुझे. थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच.
Does anyone else have a question? सर बिल्कुल एंड पे आ गया. 13 out of 13 to do's done. क्या बात है. तो let's see क्या आउटपुट देता है. It's asked to give me permission to edit updates as well. It's probably updating itself on what's the progress, but we try to check in the progress on our own. We can just use Python's own. While it's running, Hiram has raised a hand. Hiram, do you have a question? So we'll get back to the Q&A. So okay, Bilal has a question as well. जिसका भी question है अपना mic unmute कर ले and I'll entertain your question for sure.
Bilal, you can speak now.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम बिलाल.
सर जी मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जिस तरह हम देख रहे हैं ना कि मतलब एआई मतलब फ्रंट एंड के जो कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रॉब्लम है वो सॉल्व कर सकता है. जिस तरह हम पोर्टफोलियो बना रहे हैं कर्सर एआई से, विद द हेल्प ऑफ चैट जीपीटी के हम फ्यूचर में मतलब स्विच करना चाहिए अपनी टेक्नोलॉजी से फुल स्टैक से एआई या एमएल की तरफ, या इसे अपनी टेक्नोलॉजी को मतलब मास्टर मास्टर करके टॉप लेवल तक जाना, या मतलब इसको स्विच करना चाहिए एआई, क्योंकि फ्यूचर में कुछ पता नहीं चलता, क्योंकि अभी हम देख रहे हैं कि कर्सर एआई से हम मतलब बहुत कुछ बना सकते हैं। तो क्या स्विच करना चाहिए या इसी पे रहना चाहिए, इस टेक्नोलॉजी पे जावास्क्रिप्ट रिएक्ट नेक्स्ट नोड जेएस, या इसी पे रहना चाहिए या मतलब स्विच करना चाहिए?
नहीं, डेफिनेटली रियली गुड क्वेश्चन। इसमें मैं यही बोलूंगा कि यार जो आपकी जो डोमेन जो आपने बनानी है ना, जो बिल्कुल आपकी बेस की फील्ड है, वो आप ट्रेंड से भी ना देखो कि क्या ट्रेंडिंग चल रहा है, क्या आगे जा रहा है, या फिर क्या कितना अच्छा काम कर रहा है। इस सब चीजों से नहीं देखो आप, उसमें देखो बहुत चीजी सी बात करने लगा हूं, लेकिन शौक जिस पे आपको, जिसमें यू आर समथिंग विच यू आर वेरी 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 पैशनेट अबाउट, उससे फिर ये होगा, आप जब उस फील्ड के इतने पागल बनोगे कि लाइक यू विल कीप अप विद ऑल द रीसेंट डेवलपमेंट्स, उस पर सारे काम करते रहोगे, उस पर प्रोजेक्ट्स बनाते रहोगे, कोई आपको कुछ नहीं बोलेगा, कुछ आपको कोर्स करने की जरूरत नहीं होगी, यू विल जस्ट बी दैट एक्साइटेड अबाउट द फील्ड कि आप उसमें आगे जाते रहोगे। और चाहे वो असेंबली लैंग्वेज हो, चाहे वो एआई हो, चाहे वो एमएल हो, चाहे वो डिजाइन हो, हर फील्ड की ना जगह होती है इफ यू आर एन अमेजिंग प्रोफेशनल। कुछ ऐसे चीज नहीं होती कि स्कोप कम है। दैट्स माय पर्सनल थिंग अबाउट इट। I'd say कि कर्सर itself is not समथिंग जिसको ना आपको अपनी फील्ड बनानी चाहिए। इट्स अ को पायलट जो आपने एक एज अ सेकेंडरी टूल यूज करना है, उसको अपना बिल्कुल डिपेंडेंट चीज नहीं बनाना कि मैं कर्सर ही यूज करता हूँ फॉर माई डे जॉब एंड दैट्स ऑल। एंड डेफिनेटली ट्राई टू एक्सेल इन समथिंग जिसमें आपको शौक हो, तो फिर आपको उस फील्ड में बहुत खुद ही आगे जाते रहोगे इंशाल्लाह। एंड दिस इज एन एडवाइस आई गिव टू ऑल।
थैंक यू सर। मेरा भी फ्यूचर में ये कि अपना प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च करके, आइडिया लॉन्च करके, मतलब फुल स्टैक डेवलपर में उसको जिस तरह कर रही है, इस तरह मैंने फ्यूचर में भी इंशाल्लाह वो अपना प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च करना है।
ओके, अच्छा, नहीं, दैट्स रियली गुड टू हियर बिलाल, थैंक यू सो मच। तो इसको इट सीम्स टू रन इन एरर, लेकिन सिंस आवर प्रोजेक्ट इज डन, हमारे पूरे सब चीज हो चुके हैं। सो पाइथन में अगर किसी ने कोई प्रोग्राम रन किया हो या कुछ भी लाइक मतलब किया हो, तो इट्स लाइक पाइथन और फाइल का नेम, राइट? तो शुरू में जब मैंने आप लोग को npm का बताया था, तो देयर इज npm run dev, npm run build, हमारे पास ये ट्रेंड्स होती हैं। और ऊपर आप देख सकते हैं कैसे ना टेस्टिंग करके काम खत्म किया है कि npm run dev और npm next build, npm run build, सारी चीजें हो रही हैं। एंड देयर इज अ मॉड्यूल मिसिंग एज वेल फॉर द बिल्ड, we'll have to take care of that। npm run dev अगर हमने किया स्टार्टिंग, इट्स रेडी। एंड लेट्स सी कि अली हमजा के लिए क्या पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट बन गया। और जैसा कि आप देख सकते हैं, बहुत बहुत बड़ी बात है ये, लाइक ना मतलब एआई से इतनी प्यारी इससे वेबसाइट बन गई। बड़ी बात नहीं है, इट्स ऑल अबाउट प्लानिंग, इट्स ऑल अबाउट हमने किस तरह से चैट जीपीटी से किया है। लेकिन जस्ट अ फ्यू प्रॉम्प्ट्स, आप लोगों के साथ बातचीत की, रिलैक्स किया, फंडामेंटल्स की इंपॉर्टेंस की बात की, एंड यू हैव एन एंटायर पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट रेडी। आपका लिंक्डइन लगा हुआ है, गिटहब लगा हुआ है, मेल का कांटेक्ट आप कर सकते हैं, रेज्यूमे खोल सकते हैं, देयर इज एन अबाउट मी सेक्शन। तो अब जिस बंदे से भी आप मिलें, इफ यू नो नथिंग अबाउट कोडिंग एट ऑल, आपका कोडिंग से कोई लेना देना भी नहीं है, बट यूर लाइक अ डिजाइनर, अ फैशन डिजाइनर, अ फिल्म प्रोफेशनल, या फिर आपको जो भी है, इन दिस डे एंड एज इट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू हैव ए पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट, ताकि जिसको भी आप कोई घूम रहा हो ना, आप उसको पकड़ाओ कि यार दिस इज माई प्रोफाइल, दिस इज माई सोशल आइडेंटिटी प्रीटी मच, कि मैं मुझे ये काम आता है, मैं ये काम कर सकता हूँ, दिस इज हाउ आई कैन कोलैबोरेट, एंड दिस विल लीड यू टू गेट अमेजिंग जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज। एंड I'm pretty impressed with the outcome, and I'd love to hear about what you guys think। इसमें बाकी आप देख सकते हैं, बाकी पेजेस भी बन गए। There's a technical skills page, there's the journey page। पूरा ना इसको like once you gave it the context, it was able to do a very good work। अब जैसे there's more things you can improve as well। You can add images through a backend database, ताकि आपको कोड एडिट ना करना पड़े। आप डेटाबेस के साथ इंटरैक्ट करो, गूगल ड्राइव के साथ इंटरैक्ट करो, और इमेजेस चेंज हो जाएंगी इस तरह से। there's projects as well, there's a bright flashy section for collaboration as well, and there's a blog too। आर्टिकल्स भी लिख दिए, क्या बात है अली हमजा भाई, आप तो आर्टिकल भी लिख दिया आपने इतनी जल्दी। in a world filled with GPT generated stuff. इन चीजों में ना जितना भी like once you've generated with AI, always make sure to give it your personal flair. उस चीज में ना काफी फिर आपकी identity unique रहती है. And there's a contact form too. ये तो contact form doesn't make sense for a portfolio website since you're directly connected with the LinkedIn, आप उससे कर सकते हो. लेकिन ये भी हमने डाला है कि like मतलब कितना easy है. Many of the people in one of my recent projects as well, my teammates were pretty confused कि यार like किस तरह से कॉन्टैक्ट फॉर्म के लाइक ना डायरेक्ट हमारी ईमेल वेबसाइट पे कुछ हमने फॉर्म डाला हुआ है और ईमेल इनबॉक्स में डायरेक्टली वो आ जाए. तो देयर इज दिस रियली हेल्पफुल साइट कॉल्ड web3forms.com जहां से आपको सिर्फ एक एक्सेस की निकालनी होती है अपनी ईमेल एंटर करके एंड देन दे हैव देयर ओन कोड स्निपेट्स एज वेल. ये डॉक्यूमेंटेशन भी आप जीपीटी कर्सर को फीड करा के जो कि मैंने कराई भी थी वो डायरेक्टली इंटीग्रेट कर देगा. इसके बाद इंटीग्रेट किया हुआ है. आई जस्ट नीड टू एंटर अली हमजा की एक्सेस की जो कि उनके ईमेल पे आएगी आफ्टर गेटिंग इट फ्रॉम web3forms. और पूरा एक पाइपलाइन बन गया वेयर पीपल कैन कम्युनिकेट विद हिम ऑन हिज पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट और आगे जाके इस तरह से पूरा क्लाइंट फ्लो बन सकता है. दिस इज वेरी कूल स्टफ. FAQ सेक्शन भी है एंड yeah, this is our portfolio website. Light mode, dark mode भी है for people who have that preference. And this is the live demo part of Cursor. I hope you guys liked it. तो any questions आगे any चीजें इसको हम लोग जरूर आगे लेके चलते हैं. There's Q&A पे and let's go about it. तो तासीन आखिर में like ना सारे there's a few slides left since we're done with the live demo और इसको आगे लेके चलते सेशन को. I really love the reactions वैसे. Thank you so much. Really makes me happy. ठीक है. As we saw, ये आप लोगों के सामने खुद कितना ट्रू हुआ. अभी अगर हमारे पास टाइम होता ना मैं कर्सर से कहता कि बिल्ड मी एन अमेजिंग पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट और आप देखते कि लाइक वो कितनी मीडियोकर जॉब करता है क्योंकि it needs context, it needs all the instructions it can get. So we did that and we got an amazing output. आप लोग इसमें भी देख लें कि गुड प्रॉम्प्ट और बैड प्रॉम्प्ट में क्या फर्क है. इमेजिन यू आर मेकिंग अ चैट टैगिंग फीचर. जिस तरह से व्हाट्सएप में आप टैग करते हैं किसी को या आप किसी को उसमें करते हैं किसी ऐप में ना आप ये टैगिंग का काम कर रहे हैं तो उसमें यू कैन बी लाइक बिल्ड अ चैट टैगिंग फीचर. दैट्स अ बैड प्रॉम्प्ट. उसको पता नहीं चलेगा बोल क्या रहा है. तो यू नीड टू स्पेसिफाई व्हाई व्हाट एंड हाउ. आई वांट टू ऐड अ चैट टैगिंग फीचर. ओके ऑर्डर थोड़ा मिक्सअप हो गया. each chat can support multiple tagging and research code base, ask clarifying questions and then make a development plan. ये इसको करंट उसका भी दे दिए कि लाइक अभी जो कोड बेस में काम करो उसको पहले रिसर्च करो, उसका कोड पढ़ो, समझो किस तरह से काम हुआ है. आस्क क्वेश्चंस जो कि मैंने भी किया था कि आस्क क्वेश्चन वरना वो खुद ही अज्यूम करके उल्टी सीधी चीज कर सकता है एंड गिव यू अ बैड आउटपुट एंड देन मेक अ डेवलपमेंट प्लान जिस तरह से कर्सर ने टू डू के साथ बना दिया था. तो देयर इज दैट एज वेल. Baki, I feel like we can go on to the Q&A. That's it for the session. Do we have any questions or Q&A? There was some stuff as well.
Thank you so much, Yahya, for that incredibly insightful and practical session. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot and I had a lot to learn from that session. It was a very nice and a good session. I really liked it. Now, to speak more about Adversity's mission and the broader vision that drives our platform, I'd like to invite Mohammed Danish, Head of Operations at Adversity. Over to you, Danish.
Thank you, Zarmeena. Thank you so much for having me. I am actually humbled and very excited that a lot of people joined us today and were passionate to learn Cursor AI. There's a whole another side of generative AI which people don't really know about. So it was great to have the session. So guys, my name is Mohammed Danish and I'm the Head of Operations at Adversity. So we lead Adversity with a single mission that we empower the youth of Pakistan so much that when they जब वो दुनिया में कहीं पे भी जाएं in any tech world, so they are invited very warmly and very proudly as the tech talent of Pakistan, right? So we started Adversity back in 2021 with a single goal that we want to finish unemployment in Pakistan, right? So हमें बहुत जगह ये सुनने को मिलता है कि unemployment बहुत ज़्यादा है पाकिस्तान के अंदर, but actually the truth is totally different from it, right? So अगर हम Forbes या World Economic Forum या फिर किसी भी रिसर्च कंपनी के डेटा को उठा के देखें तो हमें इस चीज का पता लगता है कि इंडस्ट्रीज को टैलेंट की जरूरत है. They want people to fill the jobs, to fill the roles, लेकिन उनको मार्केट के अंदर वो वाला टैलेंट नहीं मिलता. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि एक स्टूडेंट जो ग्रेजुएट हो रहा है फ्रॉम यूनिवर्सिटी, उसने सीखा बहुत कुछ है ऑल द यूनिवर्सिटी में, बट इंडस्ट्री के अंदर जो उसको स्किल सेट चाहिए वो उस चीज से लैक कर रहा है. आप किसी भी फोर्थ इंडस्ट्रियल टेक्नोलॉजी को उठा के देख लो, यू विल फाइंड आउट कि जॉब्स अवेलेबल है इन द मार्केट, बट उन जॉब्स को फिल करने के लिए वो टेक टैलेंट मौजूद नहीं है, राइट? सो दिस इज व्हाट वी डू एट एडवर्सिटी. हम लोग यूथ को ट्रेन करते हैं, वी स्किल, री-स्किल एंड अपस्किल द यूथ, ताकि वो इन टेक्नोलॉजीज के अंदर एक्सेल कर सकें एंड मेक अ नेम आउट ऑफ इट इन द होल नेशन, इन द होल वर्ल्ड एक्चुअली. सो हम लोग काफ़ी सारी स्किल्स के टेक्नोलॉजीज के अंदर अपने स्टूडेंट्स को ट्रेन करते हैं. वी हैव एआई, वी हैव ब्लॉकचेन, साइबर सिक्योरिटी, इवन मेटावर्स एंड डेवलपमेंट, वेब डेवलपमेंट एज वेल, ताकि वी मेक श्योर कि जो स्टूडेंट ग्रेजुएट हो रहा है फ्रॉम यूनिवर्सिटी वो एक अच्छी जहाँ पे वो जा रहा है, दे शुड रिप्रेजेंट कि दिस इज द टेक टैलेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान व्हिच इज नोन वर्ल्ड वाइड, राइट? सो गाइज, आई होप कि आप लोगों ने काफ़ी कुछ सीखा होगा फ्रॉम दिस सेशन, जैसे कि मैंने भी सीखा है. एंड आई एम वेरी हैप्पी कि आप में से काफ़ी सारे लोग हैं हु आर ईगर टू लर्न, और सिर्फ लर्न नहीं बल्कि अडेप्ट टू न्यू टेक्नोलॉजीज एज वेल. मतलब एक तरफ वो लोग हैं जो VO3 से वीडियो बना के मीम्स बना रहे हैं, और एक तरफ वो लोग हैं जो जेन एआई को इस तरह से यूज कर रहे हैं कि अपने एप्स बना रहे हैं इन लाइक मिनट्स, जिस तरह याहिया मेड अली हमजाज ओन पोर्टफोलियो इन मिनट्स, जिसमें हमने बातें भी की हैं और फिर we did something productive as well. So there is a whole another world of using tech to leverage it for our own benefits, right? So with that, मैं आप लोगों से इजाजत चाहूँगा क्योंकि आई बिलीव कि भी आगे Q&A सेशन और होगा. तो आप लोगों के जो भी क्वेश्चंस हैं, you guys can raise your hands, ask them in the group, ask Yahya, or I am available here as well if you have any questions related to adversity or our upcoming programs. So feel free to ask them. So I hope to talk to you soon again sometime. One thing that I wanted to announce as well, we are launching a boot camp on Cursor. So you can master it better. This was just an hour or an hour and a half session. So in the boot camp, we will be covering every single thing in detail, so you guys can have a better grip on Cursor, and you guys are better pros at developing your own apps and deploying them as well in real time. So have a nice day, guys. I'm available if you have any questions regarding adversity or its programs, or have any questions regarding Cursor AI. Yahya is here with us as well. So let's talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Danish, for your visionary words. I know many of you would have a lot of questions after Yahya's amazing session. We'll now open the floor for a short Q&A. If you have any question, whether it's about the session, our programs, career paths in AI development, or adversity learning experience, feel free to raise your hands or ask them in the chat.
Thank you, Danish and Zarmeena. There's quite a bit of questions. Q&A में भी काफी अच्छे questions हैं. We'll get to cater to all of them. Okay, पहले जो Q&A उसमें आए हुए हैं तो उनको कर ले. Azim and Abdul Basif have their hands raised as well. अच्छा, चलो, let's get to Iman has a question. Can you give us a few tips on how we can integrate databases via Cursor AI more efficiently? अच्छा, आज मैंने आप लोग को एक जो बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज दिखाई ना कि हाउ मैंने उसको पूरा अपना फाइल सिस्टम का इंटायर प्रिंट करके दे दिया कि भाई मेरे पास ये सारी फाइल्स हैं एंड ये मुझे दिखानी है, लाइक दिस इज व्हाट यू आर वर्किंग विद. तो कर्सर को भी आपको अगर आप ये बता दो कि डेटाबेस में क्या चल रहा है, क्या चीजें हैं, इट वुड डू वंडर्स. अगर उसको नहीं पता होगा कि आपका डेटाबेस किधर होस्टेड है, क्या है, तो इट्स गोइंग टू कॉज अ लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स. तो इस चीज के लिए बड़ी मजे की चीज है MCP, मॉडल कॉन्टेक्स्ट प्रोटोकॉल. जिन चीजों का कॉन्टेक्स्ट नहीं है, जो भी मॉडल यू आर यूजिंग इन कर्सर, क्लाउड के पास, जिसके पास भी, यू कैन यूज दैट. यू कैन यूज MCP के साथ आप अपने फिग्मा डिजाइन की लिंक उसको दे सकते हैं कर्सर को. आप अपनी सुपरबेस डेटाबेस का पूरा उसका लिंक कर सकते हैं एंड गिव इट कंप्लीट कॉन्टेक्स्ट. अपना गिटहब का लिंक करके MCP, यू कैन गिव देम कंप्लीट कॉन्टेक्स्ट. तो उस तरह से लुक इनटू सुपरबेस MCP and how you can with Cursor, and that would really help out with integrating your databases. बहुत अच्छा सर. ठीक है, बाकी let's finish up the Q&As, फिर raised hand वालों को भी देख लेंगे. There's Mahroz, can we get a recording? Yes, a recording will be shared. Mahroz and Tasin. Baki Agdas, I really apologize. This was my first time teaching a session, or non-tech was unfortunately the minority. I would absolutely love to help you out offline. आप group में DM कर लो, या आप LinkedIn पर reach out कर लो, even a one-on-one call उस तरह से, या फिर a group of non-tech people who'd like to learn. I'd love to give a briefing on that. जिसको बिल्कुल भी नहीं पता IDEs के बारे में कुछ भी नहीं, I'd love to give a refresher on that. Baki Lima Ram is Cursor Pro free for students 1 year. Pakistan country. Okay, so there is an issue. There's a pretty big issue. Not just Pakistan, but Pakistan, India, Vietnam, Turkey, a lot of the countries, Mexico, they had issue with fraud mitigation में अभी रहता है काम. तो like मतलब Pro was offered to everyone, but right now due to concerns of fraud, the Cursor team had to remove those things. Baki, what's this webinar all about? Are you explaining Cursor as an AI tool? But yeah, definitely. We got end-to-end assistance in this webinar, or ski recording bhi share hogi, so you can check that as well. ठीक है. बाकी Azim, Azim का काफी time से question, उनका hand raised है.
Azim, if you have to ask your question, you can unmute your mic.
जी मैंने अपना क्वेश्चन पोस्ट किया है Q&A में. It's just that I had installed Cursor and I was using the free trial, but it was only for 2 weeks and then it expired and I didn't get the opportunity to complete my entire project and learning more about it. So is there a way you can provide like a sandbox environment or like a more extended trial version so I can just learn more about Cursor, play more with it and maybe launch something meaningful? अगर आप लोग इतना दे सकते हैं या कुछ credits दे सकते हैं, even if it's paid, so that would be nice. Thank you.
Yeah, for the paid option, you can just get a subscription, उससे आपको पूरा मिल जाएगा. But about getting a extended trial period या फिर a sandbox environment specifically, ना, you can look into Olama. Olama allows you to run any LLM locally on your device. तो उसके साथ, I think there is a way to integrate.
Yes, I've heard about it. I've heard about Olama.
Yes, so there is a way to integrate Olama with Cursor, and you can get somewhat sandboxed environment. उस तरह से it will be a little limited because the LLM cannot run on full power on your laptop. Like, it will do a good job of showing you the capabilities. There's also other tools. किसी और tool का trial आप try कर लें. There's Peer AI, there's Augment Code. अच्छी खासी चीजें हैं. Just get into AI coding once and then उसमें भी ना आपको फिर पता चल जाएगा भाई.
Can you share a list of all these tools in our official Cursor WhatsApp group?
Oh, okay, for sure.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome.
I think Lima Ram has a question. Lima, you can unmute your mic and ask the question.
Thank you so much, Yahya, for a wonderful session. I just want to ask कि कर्सर का जो इन्वेस्टर बनते हैं, इसका क्या क्राइटेरिया होता है, सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस क्या होता है, इसमें एज ए स्टूडेंट हमें क्या चीज़ें ध्यान में रखनी चाहिए while filling the application form and also preparing for the interview?
For sure, definitely. अच्छा, इसमें एक बात यही है, Cursor is a very new brand इस तरह से ना अभी, and our target audience जो है ना वो students अभी है ही नहीं. हम इस तरह से हम लोग classify नहीं करते कि सिर्फ students आए या फिर सिर्फ वो आए. We cater to all developers and professional developers and people who are aspiring to be developers. तो Cursor currently अभी specifically ना students को onboard या फिर एक student program या फिर university chapter type चीज अभी support नहीं कर रहा. But having said that, just be an amazing professional. You are not limited by age. You are not limited by wherever you are. You can maintain an amazing GitHub. Contributions करें, दिखाएं कि why people should trust you in the community. Why are you a perfect fit for being a community ambassador? उस तरह से. तो for context, I've been into community stuff for 2 years, mentoring, teaching, guiding, पूरा इस तरह sessions देना. I remember the first session, one of the first sessions I gave in FAST, वो तब दिया था मैंने जब Lovable, one of the very popular tools you guys might have heard of, उसको कहते थे GPT Engineer. CLI tool होता था वो, तो a group of 10 kids were able to like get that session, और बड़ी learning हुई थी उस जमाने में, लेकिन बहुत पुरानी बात है वो. लेकिन yeah, like keep at it. अगर if you have the spirit to become an ambassador and help the people around you, आपके अंदर वो जुनून है कि जिस तरह से बाकियों के अंदर, पर मेरे अंदर भी है कि मैं अपना दोस्तों को पकड़ के शेक करता हूँ कि भाई चेक आउट दिस न्यू फीचर, क्या कमाल कर दिया कर्सर ने, क्या ऐप बन गई, ये क्या पोर्टफोलियो बन गया, इस तरह से ना. लाइक देन डेफिनेटली कीप दैट स्पिरिट अलाइव एंड कंट्रीब्यूटर वाले माइंडसेट से ना जरूर सोचे कि यूजिंग कोड यू आर शेयरिंग कूल स्टफ और आगे लेके आ जा रहे हैं आप उस तरह से चीजों को.
Anyone else who has a question can raise their hands and we'll entertain them. Anyone who has a question?
Zarmeena, I think we are good to wrap up. Let me share.
Yes.
Let me share just 2 more minutes. I'll share a few things. Okay, for those who want to join or Cursor or like you really like Cursor, just tell us, one of the people who said, I'll get off this webinar and make my own app. I really love that. So you can join our WhatsApp community and you can get to know more, chat with very experienced professionals and get advice about Cursor and whatnot. Or Baki, I forgot a section of the webinar जिसका था deploying apps. हमने बड़ी मजे की ऐप बना दी है लेकिन उसको deploy नहीं की है. तो deploy करने के लिए भी ना, once you have your app hosted on GitHub like this, तो इसके अंदर आप पूरा again, I may be going way too fast for non-tech people, but imagine you're updating your Google Drive with your new code, और आप यहाँ पे app ready करके commit कर सकते हैं. Basically, upload it onto your Google Drive. And then there's this amazing service जो कि Next.js के creators ने actually बनाई है, Vercel, जहाँ पे आप बहुत conveniently आप अपना ना पूरा अपने applications deploy कर सकते हैं. तो आप यहाँ पे जब आप जाते हैं, okay, let me go into my other window. You can see यहाँ पे cursor-demo-edversity आ गया इधर, और आप इसको import कर सकते हैं. और यहाँ पे all you need to do is just click deploy. और cursor-demo-edversity के नाम से ऐप डिप्लॉय हो जाएगी. तो डिप्लॉयमेंट क्यू हो गई है और ये 2 मिनट्स के अंदर डिप्लॉय भी हो जाएगा. अली हमजा का पोर्टफोलियो सब देख पाएंगे, फेमस हो जाएंगे वो, and you'll be able to see how easy this whole loop of making applications from an idea in your head to something very tangible जो हर कोई अपने फोन पे खोल पाए, इंटरैक्ट कर पाए, शेयर कर पाए. It's a very cool process. उसी तरह से you can also check out cursor.show. It's a website I made by myself, और ये it's a contribution I made to the Cursor community which got a lot of attention. One of the reasons why I got into the Cursor program. And इसमें यही है कि like show off what you built with Cursor. Gallery, Replit की gallery होती है, Lovable की gallery होती है, but Cursor की नहीं होती. तो this is something I made. और इसके अंदर बड़ी अपनी मजे की creations दिखा सकते हैं. Chat vibe is something I made, जो कि is something cool I'd like to share with everyone. कि it's a pretty funny app जहाँ पे where you upload your WhatsApp chat data, all local, कुछ store नहीं होता, and it gives you the top used emojis or top used words. तो जितने भी friend groups को दिखाया ना मैंने, बड़ा मतलब funny उनका reaction आता है हमेशा. And yeah, that's about it. Keep building, keep sharing. Baki, if we have a final question, I think Isa raised their hand. उसके बाद we can finish things up.
Yes, Isa, if you'd like to ask your question.
ठीक है सर. हाँ, thank you sir for giving me opportunity to speak. सर ये कर्सर उसने तो पोर्टफोलियो तो बना दी, वो ये नहीं कर सकता कि वो खुद डिप्लॉय भी करे, सब कुछ वो अपने आप से हैंडल करे?
कर सकता है. लाइक उसको भी आप ऑटोमेट कर सकते हो. थोड़ा वो एडवांस्ड वर्कफ्लो बनाना होता है. GitHub Actions is a thing by GitHub जो आपके कोड बेस के एक्शन ऑटोमेट कर देता है, whether it's deploying या वो करना, तो वो उसके भी थ्रू आप कर सकते हैं. लेकिन इट्स वेरी मिनिमल। अभी मुझे कुछ नहीं करना पड़ा, बस वर्सेल में लॉगिन करना पड़ा, गिटहब पे इंपोर्ट क्लिक करना पड़ा और बस उसको डिप्लॉय करना पड़ा। एंड लेट्स चेक आउट कि इसमें ये देखें क्या बात है। आप सब इस लिंक पे जाके चेक कर सकते हैं कि अली हमजा का पोर्टफोलियो इज लाइव। आई शेयर इट इन द चैट एज वेल। तो ईसा आप जैसे देख सकते हैं, जस्ट अ फ्यू क्लिक्स इज ऑल इट टुक। मुझे कुछ कॉन्फ़िगरेशन नहीं करनी पड़ी, कुछ नहीं करनी पड़ी, क्योंकि मेरे चैट जीपीटी ने जो मुझे प्रॉम्प्ट बना के दिया था, इट हैड दैट स्पेसिफिकेशन के मेक इट रेडी टू डिप्लॉय ऑन वर्सेल। ठीक है, एंड यू गाइस कैन चेक इट आउट हाउ इट्स लाइव। बाकी there's a few more. There's a question about adversity. अजीम का क्वेश्चन आंसर हो गया है। एंड अब्दुल हन्नान, यस, आपका what I would suggest to learn whatever you like, honestly. मैं इससे बड़ी एडवाइस नहीं दे सकता। if I ज्यादा से ज्यादा मैं ये कह सकता हूँ कि go into what you enjoy in life. like मतलब ना थोड़ा कंफ्यूज होंगे आप, लेकिन do you enjoy asking questions? Do you enjoy diving deep into the daily monotonous stuff? Do you enjoy playing video games? Game dev में देख लो। Do you enjoy predictions? Do you enjoy statistics? Statistics के लिए AI is perfect. AI and data science. तो take the prerequisite of what you enjoy और उस चीज के साथ ना आप अपना आगे का फील्ड देखो। And I think that is all.
Yeah, if you can quickly drop your LinkedIn in the chat, so people who want to reach you out offline, they can talk to you and
for sure.
have a further discussion. So that would be nice.
Zarur. Give me a minute. And here you go. I've shared my LinkedIn as well. Thank you so much, everyone. It was an immense pleasure. बहुत मजा आया आप सबको आपके रिएक्शंस देख के, आप लोग से बातचीत करके, and showing what Cursor can do. And inshallah we will meet again soon, preferably offline, since those sessions are just amazing. Sessions होते रहेंगे, events होते रहेंगे, webinars होते रहेंगे, but the real learning that would happen is offline. जैसे ही आपकी कॉल बंद होगी, आपकी मोटिवेशन जो कभी खत्म नहीं होनी चाहिए, प्लीज खत्म नहीं होने देना, जो which makes you stay up late at night, कि ओ यार बड़ा cool idea आया है, documentation देखना है, ये देखना है, वो करना है. Reach out to me anytime you want. Like मतलब it's a very like community में जब भी मैसेज करोगे ना, me and many other experienced Cursor users will be there to help. So we would absolutely love to make your ideas in reality. Or definitely, thank you so much. Really enjoyed the session and hope to see you guys again soon.
Thank you so much, Yahya. This session was really incredible. I got to learn a lot, and I think the rest of them feel the same way. So thank you, guys. Thank you again to everyone who joined us today. We hope this session gave you real value and clarity on why AI-assisted development is one of the most essential and high-growth skills today. Until then, take care and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz, everyone. Take care.
Okay.